everyone, and welcome to our Heavenly Parent Holy Community Oceania Hundoke with Reverend Yutaka Yamada on this day, Saturday 20th of March, which is the 8th day of February in the 9th year of Chongalguk. So let's begin by offering a bow to our Heavenly Parent and True Parent, Chariot. Jombe. Paro. And let's recite our family pledge both in Korean and English. Thank you.
가족만세 5. 천의국주인 우리 가족은 참사랑을 중심하고 매일 주체적 천산세계와 대산적 지산세계의 토인을 향해 전진적 발전을 촉진할 것을 맹세하나이다.
Family pledge number 5. Our family, the owner of Chongalguk, pledges to strive every day to advance the unification of the spirit world and the physical world as subject and object partners by centering on true love. And I'd like to ask Isla Willits if she could offer the opening prayer, please.
Let us pray. Good morning, dear Heavenly Father, dear Heavenly Parent, our beloved true parents of heaven and earth and all mankind. Heavenly Parent, we are so grateful that we live in this time of human history. Beyond our imagination, we have met our true parents. Many of us, even physically. Our Heavenly Parent, we know that human history has been a history of suffering. And Heavenly Parent, we have hurt your heart so many times. But there is hope now. Our true parents have paved the way with so much blood, tears and sweat. And we are together with our true mother here now. We have no excuse. And we look at our world and some of our friends, our families have suffered so much, but so much light is in front of us, so much hope with our true parents and true mother. Iron fist leadership with the absolute true love to you and mankind. So we pray that we can understand true mother's life much better this morning again. We are grateful for all the information that we find, new angles of human history, approaching a new era. Heavenly Parent, we long for you, we long for our true parents, we long for changing our lives. And we are so grateful for our Heavenly Parents' holy community, now so approaching around the world, brothers and sisters. We thank you for this moment that we can come together for this Hondoke. And we pray for safety and protection for our true mother. Protect her and let many people who are faithful be around her so that her life is easier every day. And we pray that you can give us guidance, and thank you for Reverend Yutaka and Reverend Sean, so hardworking to bring us this beautiful message every morning. Thank you, Heavenly Parent, for your love, your guidance, never leaving us. And we thank you for all brothers and sisters around the world. Thank you. We pray and report this in the name of our Central Family. Amen.
Thank you, everyone, and good morning. We have 30 participants connected this morning. So let's give a good welcome to Reverend Yutaka as he shares with us this morning. Okay.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Thank you for coming today's morning Fundokgye together with our all Oceania nations and all our Oceania brothers and sisters and blessed family are gathering. Today is really great day. Time fly fast, really quickly going on. Then season also is changing. So each single day we can find the new life and the new situation and new things. So today also God prepared many things for us through our day. So we will find those things through Fundokgye, through prayer, and through today's life also. When True Father was finding the truth, he really researched and studied in the sentence by sentence in the Bible. So also when we read our True Parents' message, even we read True Mother's autobiography, behind the sentence, what is the secret? What kind of Heavenly Parents' heart is there, plan is there, and our True Parents' heart is there. If we can seek that, then our message become more deep and also can see from the different dimension. So through a morning Fundokgye, we can share together and find the message together. So let's start our contents. So yesterday we share about the transformation or moving our Temonim and grandmother Cho Wonmo and also our true mother from Seoul to Daegu because of Korean War. So when we see their life and how Temonim's investment and also environment is severe, but she created the environment. So every time when we see our environment, when we see their environment, when we see our true parents' environment, always those environment is not easy. But centering on Heavenly Parents' will and centering on providence, centering on God's wish, always they are creating new environment, new foundation with hope and with dreams. We could learn those things. Even Heavenly Parent is showing us the way or giving the revelation or giving the message to us every day. But if we are not ready to catch, if we are not ready to feel, then all things is just passing to another place. That's why every day's song, prayer, this kind of foundation become actually the foundation to receive the heaven's message, heaven's revelation, and also become the strong motivation and power like our true mother, true father, and like also Temonim. So if we can seek those heart and those point behind of God's word and through the prayer, then today's day will become the grateful day. So let's read the mother's message. No matter how no matter her plight, my mother surrendered her mind to her search for Jesus at the return. Now, as I began to mature, she added to that the task of providing her daughter a spiritually safe environment. She wanted me to reach maturity in an environment of internal and external purity, and she considered how to separate me as much as possible from the influence of the secular world. So even any kind of plight, my mother, Temonim, surrendered her mind to her search for Jesus at his return. So Temonim really invested. And mother started to go to the school again and to meet the people and go to the school and go to the secular world. What's the most important things for parents? Parents' concern and thinking is how we can protect my daughter, son, children from outside secular environment, and how to raise up children to be pure. Temonim always thinking. Temonim received the revelation to protect her, guide her as God's begotten daughter, God's daughter. That's why Temonim always worry and concern how to protect and how to guide the daughter, Trimada. I was attending Daegu Elementary School in a neighborhood called Ponsandong. As time passed, not only my face, but also my bearing became attractive. I was good at my studies, so I soon became popular among my friends, and I was well liked by many adults as well. One afternoon, I was playing alone on the narrow street in front of the shop with my mother inside. So when she started to study in the school, elementary school, you can see my face, not only my face, but also by my bearing became attractive. So she became more cute, she became more beautiful, and also she could study well. So she became the popular in the elementary school. If she became popular, of course, many people become the friend, and many people want to become friend and close with her. So those environment is coming to the mother, and even adult also like her. So in the village, maybe she was so much popular also. If she's playing, many people also talk with her and also meet with her, those environment. Then someday, one person came to Turmada in front of Turmada's shop. A Buddhist monk walked by and I caught his eye, and he stopped. I returned his gaze, and I remember his piercing eyes. My mother came out and bowed politely to him, pointing to me. He asked, "Is she your daughter?" Hearing her affirmative answer, his eyes turned warm and deep. As I turned to look at my mother, the holy man spoke. "You live with only one daughter, but don't envy someone who has 10 sons. Please raise her well. This daughter of yours is going to be married at a young age. Her future husband may be older than she is, but he will be a great man with outstanding ability that transcends the sea, the land, and the skies." So Trimada, when she was younger age, Trimada met the monk, and monk gave this kind of message to her. Suddenly he came and he started to talk. "You will get married soon. The person, your husband, may be older than you are, but he will be a greater man with outstanding ability that transcends the sea, the land, and the skies. This kind of liberation is really great. Suddenly people come, and monk came and gave this kind of message. And how about husband? Outstanding ability that transcends the sea, the land, and the sky. That kind of person. Is this kind of person existing in the world? So this really monk's message is great. So our true father, how about true father? True father is surely transcending his ability. The sea transcends the sea, the land, and the skies, even all universe. He is the King of Kings and Son of God. So she also received those kind of message when she was elementary school time. Really, it's interesting. My mother took the ascetic words seriously, acting on her intention to rear her only daughter in the most serene and secure surroundings. In 1954, my mother moved us to Jeju Island off the southern coast of the Korean peninsula to the town of Sogippo. She wanted to leave the crowded city streets and allow me to mature in the pristine countryside. We spent our first 9 months on Jeju with the family of Chon Suk-chin, the younger brother of our Holy Lord Church friend, Chon Suk-chong. So after receiving message, and also Temonim was thinking many kind of things, worry, and how to protect my daughter, Chirmada, and she made the decision to move to Jeju. Have you been to Jeju Island? Jeju Island is the southern part near Yosu and between Korean Peninsula and also the Japan. So this is one of the island. So Jeju now is really a sightseeing area, tourist area. If you go there, really beautiful. Mountain, ocean, and many kind of environment is there. But at that time, 1954, why she went there? Of course, maybe the friend is there, Chon Suk-jin, but also this is the really countryside, nothing there. So to the Temonim doesn't want Mother to spend the time with another friend or secular environment. So she decided to bring Mother to that kind of countryside to train, protect, and also guide. So through Mother's environment is really guided by Temonim. So Temonim decision is also great. Immediately she decide, okay, you no need to study this school. Let's go to Jeju Island. So much countryside. So really, can you imagine the mother's feeling and mother's heart? Next part is actually not in English book. I saw in the Korean True Mother's autobiography. I brought this one from Korean autobiography because this part is a little bit different. So I will read this. My mother wanted me to follow the path of a saint for the Lord after primary school, which had nothing to do with the world. She felt that in order to receive the vocation as a daughter of God, I had to be pure. So she tried her best. When I moved to the 5th grade of senior elementary school, I had to go through a very hard life of faith at a time when I wanted to play. I had to spend most of my time in prayer, worship, and devotion. So mother, actually that time Temonim, not only just guiding, Temonim totally control mother to cut off the whole environment of Mother, and Temonim determined to raise her up as the path of a saint for the Lord after primary school, and also they try to let her receive the vocation as a daughter of God, pure, and also grow up well. So Mother said, Even she wanted to play that age. I had to go through a very hard life of phase at the time when I wanted to play. So five grade is maybe around 12 years old, 11 or 12 years old time. That time they want to play, they want to meet friends, they want to, this age group children want to do many things. Tsurumada also same, I wanted to play, but Temonim totally guide or educate, control, I don't know control, but guide well, and they lead her life. So we can imagine some other share those kind of heart. So I had to spend most of my time in prayer, worship, and devotion. So Tirumada also totally go together with Temonim's life, and follow that prayer, worship, and devotion. So that much Tirumada went through, but Temonim determination is also serious and really seriously determined to raise her up. We can see those things. My mother soaked flattened barley in water and added it to radish kimchi for the raw food diet, while I ate millet porridge. Even though weak due to no nutritional privation, when she saw farmer working the barley fields, my mother could not resist helping with the plowing. If she saw someone having difficulty carrying a load, she would volunteer to carry it for them. Without her saying a word, people were filled with admiration. I've never met such a thoughtful person, one village woman would say to another. Who would respond? That's what I'm saying. I heard she's a regular church goer, but still she is so different from the others. When she went to Jeju Island, spent the time with the village person, always she showed the model life and helping if she saw some person who are difficult without talking anything. So even the village person start to talk. This person is different. This person is great. So Temonim life itself, even she didn't say anything, but her life gave the person's heart and moved the person's heart. My mother lived the exemplary life of an authentically religious person, always putting her faith into practice by helping others. She studied the Bible and shared with me the teaching of the Holy Lord Church and the inside the womb church that Jesus would return as a man in the flesh, just as he had come 2,000 years ago, that he would find his holy bride and hold the marriage supper of the Lamb, as the Bible prophesies, and that all this would take place in Korea. From her, I learned the meaning of Jesus' second advent and could imagine it and taste and touch it. And from my mother, I learned the meaning of true discipleship. So even Temonim didn't meet the second coming yet, but her heart already the disciple and already follow the second coming, continuously waiting and attending and preparing. So when Temonim shared her message to Tirumada, already Tirumada can imagine how exact, how detailed Temonim is explaining about the second coming, and really inspiring and excited when Tirumada listened the Temonim story. That much Temonim really loved the second coming and really have a 100% confidence. Now is the time. Second coming is alive in Korean Peninsula. That's why we have to prepare well, and you have to become the God's daughter. You have to grow up well and you have to welcome second coming. So those education, Temonim always giving and educate. Even Temonim is showing the lifestyle, not only just talking, not only just a teaching. She is also showing and practicing through her life. That's why Temonim really giving the detailed, deep education to mother. My uncle, who had rescued us at the outbreak of the Korean War, married at the end of that war, and grandmother Cho went to live with him and his new bride in Seoul. Within a few months, she was longing to see her daughter and granddaughter, and she came to visit us on Jeju Island. While she was with us, my uncle was posted to the city of Chuncheon, some 50 miles northwest of Seoul. He sent us an abrupt but clear message. Please wrap up your life on Jeju and move to Chuncheon. Grandmother Cho urged us to comply, saying softly, with the pleading eyes of a loving matriarch, my only pleasure in life is to have Hakja nearby and take care of her every day. So uncle, who is uncle? Our Honsunjeon uncle. That time uncle helped to mother and all family to send off from Seoul to Daegu. So in that Daegu time, Chobonmo grandmother stayed together. But after Korean War, uncle got married and started to have a life in Seoul, and the Chobonmo grandmother went to Seoul, and Temonim and Trumada went to Jeju Island. So they are living separately, but during that time, grandmother missed daughter Temonim and granddaughter Trumada. So she came down to Jeju Island, and that time she received a message. Now uncle moved to Chuncheon. So Chuncheon area is kind of the Cheonpyeong area. So that area is the Chuncheon area. So uncle moved to Chuncheon area. That's why now he is inviting the family from Jeju to Chuncheon. Please come. And grandmother also was there. I don't know grandmother was knowing this message already or not, but during her visitation to the Jeju Island, they received this kind of message from uncle, and grandmother also told them, let's go to Chuncheon and live together. I want to see every day my granddaughter Hakja. So those kind of message, and really they wish them to come to Chuncheon and love them. That was it. In February 1955, we all three departed Jeju, bound for Chuncheon. My mother rented a small room for us in the Yaksadong neighborhood, and my grandmother lived with my uncle's family nearby. I enrolled in Pongwi Elementary School and soon entered the 6th grade. On the school grounds stood a big sycamore tree, its circumference greater than I could reach around. I read books under its abundant shade. In the hot weather, there was a coal briquette factory next to the school, and my shoes would be covered with black soot when I walked past. All this springs out fresh in my memory. In the next year, 1956, I graduated from elementary school. I was 13 and received my graduation certificate after having attended 4 different schools. Though I had been a student at Pongwi but 1 year, I was honored at the graduation ceremony with an award for doing well in my studies. So Chulmada and Temonim moved from Jeju to Chuncheon, and she enrolled the new school again. So this school is Pongwi School, and finally she graduated. So when we see the Chulmada's school life, she studied in Hyeochan-dong in Seoul, moved to Daegu, and moved to Jeju Island, and also moved to Chuncheon. So even in the elementary school time, she spent several school and different environment. So we can see her life is already moving and moving and moving. I don't know how much she could make a friend, because when we see also the missionary life, also through father's life, we know every time moving around the place, then children is moving house, different school is not easy situation. Mother is already in the younger time moving a lot, even school, house, or environment. But every time she totally follow, unite with Temonim and adjusting environment and receive training or education. So finally she graduated. This is 1956, and when she was 13 years old. So her score was good. That's why she said, I was honored at the graduation ceremony with an award for doing well in my studies. So finally, she finished her school life and going to the next stage. So after Korean War from 1951 to 1956, there is also a many kind of meeting with Chon Suk-chon, Chon Suk-chin, and also uncle. And also we can see the Temonim's life and also monk's liberation. So several situations is happening during the primary school. So how Heavenly Parents is guiding Chulmada behind of whole circumstances or environment. And Chulmada herself also accepted everything and followed together with a grandmother and Temonim, and she is growing up to prayer and finding also God's will. So almost soon their meeting is coming. So we can see how God is preparing our Chulmada to grow up well as the begotten daughter and as the bride of heaven. So we are really exciting to see the whole story in each part or each moment. So today we are sharing this Chulmada's message. So please also pray and find the message behind of the environment or behind of those Chulmada's autobiography, and we can find Heavenly Parents' heart. So when we begin the day, we will find what is your message today, and Heavenly Parents, what is your wish today for me to do, and what we will do today's new life. So our all brothers and sisters, thank you for coming and joining Fundoke. Today is also a new day. Let's create a great day to offer the victory, happiness to our Heavenly Parents and true parents, and let's spend our great time. Thank you very much. 감사합니다.
Thank you, Reverend Yutaka, for sharing with us. Thank you. Yes. Yeah. Hello, everyone. It's great to see you all here. And again, Reverend Yutaka explained to us about Mother's life and how she just moved and accepted every change. There's no sense in the reading that Mother was upset with not being allowed to play, or that she kept moving all the time. There's just a sense that she wanted to support her mother and support our Heavenly Parent. There's like a sense that she could feel that she was loved and cared for. I just remember our own kids, and just remember our own kids, raising them up, thinking that we wanted to protect them. So we decided to, in the beginning, to try homeschooling, and they sort of accepted that, but in the end, were wanting to go to school. So we ended up taking him to school, but we also thought the same thing. We wanted to protect our kids, to help them maintain their purity, not to get affected by the secular world. But it was, I could feel that sense. I'm sure all of us raising our kids really wanted to protect their innocence and purity, and to help them feel that they are children of God. And I don't know how, my kids complained a lot as they got older, wanting to do what the other kids were doing, but mother didn't seem to complain. She seemed like she was happy to go that way. Yeah. All right. Thank you. Who would like to share? Yes. Yes, Mr. O'Reilly, go ahead.
Yeah, good morning, and everyone. Reverend Taka John, and I was amazed to mother come to Seoul, and also went Jeju, and always a Holy Road Church, son and younger brother, and I thought, inside home church, most of the people are, I think, died, executed. Then relatively young, at early good time, Holy Road Church people escaped to north, south to support to mother, and it was great. But anyway, I really appreciate Taka's approach, and like a true father, really try to understand, like a Bible, sentence to sentence, and also very Reverend Taka very carefully, even reading Korean mother book, and carefully, more deeper understanding, and share the message. And because now is the time of the YouTube, and we can see all of information very quickly, and one after another, and sometimes not easy to carefully prayer and understand more deeper. So I think I have to really, think carefully more, not only spend a lot of time to YouTube, and like we have to really more with prayer, understand more deeper, touch with heavenly voice. We really appreciate a lot, Reverend Taka. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Mary, go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to thank Reverend Yutaka for sharing parts of the True Mother's autobiography that not actually in the English translation. And I wonder why those aspects, those parts of the autobiography were not actually in the translation, because those points seem very significant points. And yeah, I just wanted, and another thing is too, it's really a challenge to bring up children in this secular society. And some of the things that we hear that Carlos is being taught at school, or even questions that asked at school, is quite shocking. And I think Korea at that time would have been so much more pure anyway, so compared to what the kids have to put up with now. So just 2 points. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Mary. Yes, Randall, go ahead.
I also wanted to thank Isla for her prayer today. It was, you know, heartfelt. With my interfaith group, we've got a something called Feast of Faiths, and so all the different faith groups involved, or several of them, are putting up videos of an introduction of what their faith group is like. So I'm a bit late getting mine up, but this morning I got inspired. So about an hour before Hunduk, I started writing down a few ideas, and I wrote about 12 pages, so I'm going to have to edit it down a bit. But also the aspect that Isla was saying, that one of the things that's distinct with Family Federation is that our understanding of the suffering heart of God, that God is not aloof and distant from his children, but very much a active parent. So good to see Miwa there. If we're talking about the youth going through school, I'd hoping to hear you say something.
Okay, thank you, Randall. Yes, Kenji, go ahead.
Good morning, Reverend Yutaka and our leaders and brothers and sisters. Greetings from New Zealand. And the brothers and sisters, they went to the market this morning. So just myself and my wife just attending. Sorry for that. Anyway, as we had an opportunity to go to the Jeju Island as the delegate of the Asia Pacific, I think 2 years ago, I said Reverend John and Reverend Yutaka, all the leaders, they went there, and really felt that as anyway, True Father said that the Jeju Island is the as a whole, holy ground. So much purified the place, and a lot of the story, and anyway, we should be able to visit the one time, and in particular the school that the True Mother went, we had opportunity to be there just in front, but and also went to the, I think they enter into the ground as well. Anyhow, just like a how do you say, a pilgrimage for the True Parents Path that we felt when we visited the Jeju Island, and really appreciate for the opportunity that we are given by Dr. Yon, who previously they guided us as well. And anyhow, one time, we as an Oceania team, we should be able to go together to the such good places. Anyway, so all the readings of the True Mother, as Dr. Reverend Yutaka said that, really need to read word by word. Actually, I have to repent that I haven't done in that way, read very seriously. So anyway, one point that I also would like to mention is that even in the English version, actually different between the first edition and the second edition. When we were doing the fundoke together with my children, found out that the second version got some missed some part of the first edition, something like that. So anyway, probably need to bring up that point to headquarters. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes. You're putting your hand up there again, Rex. Or no. Okay, we've got Greg Stone there. Go ahead, Greg. And then after that, Miwa. Yeah.
Oh, Miwa. Okay. Yeah. Good morning, everyone. Just reading the reading this morning. I was just really thinking about the incredible foundation that Mother has, like those churches that were just focused on, you know, the Messiah coming in the flesh. Mother was being prepared to meet and to be the bride. And yeah, the purity of environment, because yeah, kids like at just 9, 10, 11, they make their friends, they're talking about boyfriends, girlfriends, especially in Australia. I don't know, it would be more pure probably at that time with Korea, but still, you know, many sort of fallen things. So Mother had to be really, really purified. I mean, you know, have an incredible environment, and just to be taught those things in that environment is incredible. And that church also had a lot of suffering. A lot of people died, you know, such an indemnity foundation. And on some level, I think all of us have a little bit that preparation, not of course to the same extent of True Mother, but, you know, anyway, just sort of thinking of some things in my own life like that, but I'm sure all of us have some kind of foundation where we were prepared on some level to meet the Messiah. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Greg. Okay, go ahead, Miwa.
Good morning. Sorry, we haven't been so present these past few mornings. 9 o'clock is busy time for schooling people and working people, and my dad's the taxi driver, so that's why we don't see each other often. But and also sorry I came so late this morning, but I did catch the end of it. I just thought I should say something since everyone's been talking about the second gen, so I was like, oh, maybe I should just say something. I think for me, I just wanted to say that I think it's really nice that we're, analyzing True Mother's book so well. The last few hundokes, I did pay attention, but then I recently wasn't able to connect to the hundoke, so I just read the chapters. I read the chapters that I thought were covered, because I figured your pattern of how much you cover each day, and I felt like for me reading the book was very different. But now that I come back, I realize that I must have missed some parts if the other version has more parts that I've missed. But for me, it was quite touching to see True Mother's heart, like even at a really young age, like how much depth of understanding she can have. Like I read yesterday or the day before about when she was just like around 17 or 16, and then she there was an inspiration of I am a sacrifice, and then it says something like, oh, it's not really, what do you call it, about how much, how much, it's not about how much you sacrifice, but why you sacrifice. And that for me was very inspiring, because I think a lot of us go through hardships, but if you're just dragging your feet and then like not really thinking about why you're doing it, then that's kind of counterproductive. And from today's reading, I think most of what I'm picking up is how much desire the parents have for us to grow up to have a pure life. And I think for me, it's quite touching to hear from the other parents. I know my parents try very hard, and it's not really that easy with the environment that we have. I think I agree with that. And yeah, I think even like I was asked to do YSP Oceania, and many of the second gen are now asked to be somewhat like leaders within their community as second gen coordinators. So it's also like on top of trying to keep purity on our own individual level, we also have to learn how to support our younger siblings and other siblings to do the same. But for me, I think it's a challenge enough just to keep your purity on your own level, because there's always like not even just like purity, but like also like ways of thinking and how we do things compared to the principled way, even when it comes to like political views and all this kind of stuff, like feminism and all that stuff. Like I think it's very hard to just stay connected if you're always like bombarded with different views, even on social media. So I guess what True Mother says about creating an environment, not only for the other second gen, but also ourselves, is really important. Yeah, and yeah, I thank you for sharing how much you care about your second gen to grow up so well, because I think for me it's like kind of a slap in the face, like, oh, your parents tried that hard, how can you just, give up this way of life that, anyways, that's just what I'm thinking after hearing the parents.
Thank you, Miwa. It's greatly appreciated. We really need to support each other, and it's good that you feel inspired to support the younger second gen as well, because I think it's easier when the age groups are closer, the peer groups are more received than sometimes older people, even parents. So thank you. We're now at that time we can offer our 7-minute prayer together. I'll just change the screen. Hang on. All right. Let's begin. Ju, Ju, Ju. Thank you, everyone. It's always great to see you in the morning, and have a great day, and see you again tomorrow.
Good day.
Okay.
Nice prayer. Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you.
All the best to Samoa.
Thank you.
Are you in Hawaii?
Bye. Bye.